I love you, baby. You know you're the most special thing in the world. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't even know you were watching. Just kidding. I knew you were watching. Hey, I have a question for you, just between us. Do I look swole at all today? Do I look a little swole? Not right here either. Not right there. Like out here. Do I look a little swole? No, yeah, no. Oh, okay. Because I just came back from the gym. And I feel a little swole. And I wasn't sure if it was coming through on camera, or if it was just my imagination. It might just be my imagination. But whatever. I don't know. Dread, Dennis, I was asking if maybe I look a little swole this morning. You're almost not able to see the width of me, like front and back. Thanks, Dennis. Because I really put one in this morning in the gym. Here's what I did this morning. Yesterday I went for a nice trail run. And I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm kind of tired. Maybe I'll just read and not work out this morning. And then I was like, are you tired or are you tired? And then I remembered what Jocko says about something is better than nothing. So I thought, I'll go to the gym and get a little something, something. And then I went to the gym and I was like, well, I'm getting a little something, something. I'm going to get a little something, something. And then I got it. And then I feel good. I feel much gooder than I did before. Gooder? Hi, Sam Pelham. Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Good to see you. So here's what we're doing today, class. My classy class. We are hopping into AMX 611. Hey, Dennis, Sam, anyone else who tunes in here. We're not even sure we're going to do this, right? We're not even sure that we're going to do this. We think we're going to do this, probably going to do this, but I'm not confirming. But what do you think about breaking down AMX into different segments? Dread, if you think I should stop this top secret information, just say stop. Just say stop. Understandable, Denny. Don't beat yourself up. Can I call you Denny? Can I call you? Are we close enough where I can call you Denny? AMXbooks, AMXKids, AMXWeekly, and AMXTalks. Dread, it just sounds so good. It just sounds so good, I can't help it anymore. I just can't help it anymore. Welcome to AMXbooks 611. AMXbooks. Oh, hello, my friends, and welcome to this week's AMX Weekly. What? Hello, my friends, and welcome to another AMX Talks where I am sitting down with the one and only. Oh my gosh, how about this one? Welcome, my young friends, to AMXKids Pop-Up. It's an AM existence. It's an A. Now we just got to get the whole world to know what the heck AMX is. What's AMX, Dread? And you're throwing me off. And AMX? What's AMX? AMX what? Oh, Dread, now I'm all confused. Did I mess up, Dread? Did I say something I shouldn't have said, Dread? I'm just kidding. But seriously, Dread, what do you mean by and AMX? Just a regular AMX? What's regular AMX? Oh my gosh. I mean, we're going to have to back AMX swole. I don't know. Maybe AMX training. Like X training. Dennis, yes it is. I'm going to have to hit the show and call Dread real quick. I was just puzzled by the simple... Oh, I was going to say, if there's a whole other level of AMX, beyond AMX books, etc., I was not even going to know what was going on. So for now, what I'm going to do... So that's my obsessive self playing out on camera. I'm like, do I not know something? Oh, Dennis, you're right. We don't want to bring that connotation into the show. AMXXX. Ooh, what's that Spaniard getting into these days? What the? All right, I don't think Dread would approve. My Mr. Miyagi, he wouldn't approve. So we can't get into that stuff. All right. Okay, this is such a fun one. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Spaniard Show. This is the Spaniard, and this is AMX 611. It might soon be called AMXbooks 611. We got some things going on behind the scenes. I don't even know, folks. But for now, it's called AMX 611. Finishing up today and tomorrow, The Good Neighbor by Maxwell King. And this is the life and work of Fred Rogers. I've been putting out a lot of posts about this book because it touches my heart. It touches my soul. It's taught me how to be better in so many different areas of my life. I highly recommend you get this book, The Good Neighbor. I put together a big list on my website, charliespaniard.com/reading list. If you don't want to read this book, just pick a book and get started. Today's lesson is going to start with the golden rule, and then we're going to take that into a Mr. Rogers level. So, quote from the book, quote, he, Mr. Rogers, treated everyone the same. This is one of my I'm gonna break this down and say this is one of my favorite things in human existence, okay? He, Mr. Rogers, treated everyone the same, from the president of PBS to the doorman at his apartment building in New York to the little girl who stopped him on the street to get his autograph. That is one of my favorite things in the world. When someone of such stature, such regard, such respect, such influence, such power, such esteem treats everyone the same, because there is nothing more disappointing than meeting your hero or meeting the person that you think is this, that, and the other thing, and you meet them and they're like a tool, and they're not nice, and they're not kind, and they're not friendly, and you see them interact with their inner circle, and you're like, wow, that's kind of a disappointment. The coolest thing, IMHO, I believe, is when someone as influential, esteemed, as Mr. Rogers treats everyone the same. This is one of my favorite things in human existence. It's one of my favorite things, and it's one of my favorite things that my parents taught me, that my parents taught us kids, is that you say hello to everyone. You smile, you say hello, you talk to the kid who's not being spoken to. You talk to the kid who looks like he might not have any friends. I have friends from every single walk of life. It almost makes me teary-eyed because it brings every level of human existence together in that we are one person. It's the thing that I speak to my kids most about when they're going to school. Gracie's in school. I let her know, you be nice to everyone, especially the kids who don't have anyone to talk to. And to hear that Mr. Rogers followed this and that he exemplified it, I'm going to say it tickled my heart. Now, I will say this. I took this attitude along with me when I started traveling and training in New York City on a regular basis. It doesn't so much work on a New York City subway because people don't tend to smile and want to say hi to your country bumpkin self. But I'm going to say outside of New York City and in your home environments, this smile attitude, I absolutely love it. I'm reading this new book, Unplugged, of which I'm going to talk about on the show. And Gabby Reese, professional athlete, she has I believe it's called a me first or a smile first mentality, where she's the one to set the tone of the conversation. That to me is it. That's what it's all about. So whether we're talking about Mr. Rogers, whether we're talking about Gabby Reese, whether we're talking about you and me, smile first, treat people the same regardless of who you are and regardless of who they are. Now let's talk about the numbers 143. Now this made me smile as well because I am an obsessive person. I was going to use some slang there, but we'll keep it clean. I am obsessive. I am meticulous. I am very, very structured and very obsessive in how I live my daily life. Journalist Tom Junod, so he wrote a big article on Mr. Rogers, and Tom came into the article with kind of a skeptical approach to this, right? And then he was totally won over. He was totally pulled a 180 on his attitude and interactions with Mr. Rogers because he thought, wow, this guy really is it. So let's talk about the numbers 143, and this is something that Tom uncovered in his report. It said this, quote, Fred's email address was zzz143@aol.com. Zzz simply meant that he slept soundly at night, which he did, 8 hours a night. So 143@aol.com. 143 referred to two things. Okay, so we're combining. Listen to this. This is so cool, and this is so It is so Mr. Rogers-ish. It's so ideal. Who doesn't want a sound 8 hours of sleep every day? Who doesn't want consistency? Who doesn't? Well, maybe some people don't want consistency and structure, but I'm not one of them. I want it. I covet it. And with my wrestling mindset where I get on the scale every freaking day of my life and I obsess about it, this made me feel good. So the Z's refers to his good sleep. The 143 referred to two things. One, his weight. He weighed every day. He weighed himself every day, and every day he weighed 143 pounds. Talk about systematic. That's remarkable to the point of insanity. That's what Tom said in the book. That's remarkable to the point of insanity. I know how you feel, Mr. Rogers. And then the second thing is 143 are the 1, 4, and 3 are the letters it took to say I love you. So Mr. Rogers' email address, so simple, this is 143@AOL.com. 143 was his weight. Z's was how well he slept. And 143 was also the letters it took to say I love you. Quote, in Fred, it seemed this remarkable willed simplicity and consistency from which he decided to make his stand to the world. So I'm reading this book and I'm reflecting and I'm resonating, I'm aligning with this, and I'm saying this, for me, reading about his meticulousness, I'm going to say his obsessiveness, his structures, his systems, his vision, his going after it, not listening to the naysayers, trying, experimenting, winning and losing, that's telling me, hey, keep doing what you're doing. And I'm saying on AMX 611 that AMX, my daily learning, my documenting my daily learning, my teaching these lessons for you, the audience, but mostly for my kids, Gracie and Rocky, who will one day, I believe, listen to this show, is how I'm deciding to make my stand in the world. You're hearing, like humbly speaking, humbly but with conviction, you're hearing and seeing it happen, okay? And in 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now, when it's a thing well beyond you who's listening to me, who's delivering it right now, we're going to understand fully the power of discipline and consistency. And the last tidbit I'm going to leave you off with is a quote from Mr. Rogers. Quote, when I was a boy, I used to think that strong meant big muscles, great physical power. But the longer I live, the more I realize that real strength has much more to do with what is not seen. Real strength has to do with helping others. And I'm going to circle that around to the first thing we were talking about, how Mr. Rogers treated everyone the same, from the president of PBS to the doorman to the little girl who stopped him on the street to get his autograph, to you, to me, the ability, the power we have to help other people, that is real strength. A simple smile, a simple hello, a simple how are you doing, simple empathy, interacting with other people as they are humans, as you and I are a human. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm taking most from this book. In the simple way, the absolute simple way in which Mr. Rogers did it, and the absolute simple way in which you and I can do it as well. This has been AMX 611. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate you tuning in, whether it's once in a while or whether it's every Monday through Friday for AMX, whether it's Tuesdays for AMXKids, whether it's Thursday for the interviews, for the weekly, what I learned this week, whatever way. Know that old Spanny Pants appreciates it. I did call myself Spanny Pants. Blah. I'll see you all tomorrow for AMX 612. I had so when I'm talking, it's kind of like live television. It's kind of like live television. You know how they have a 5-second, live TV is like 5-second, gap in case someone says something they shouldn't, they can bleep it out. Well, this is kind of the same because, oh shoot. I forgot something. This is kind of the same. And the words I'm going to say are like, I don't know how to say it, but like a little bit ahead of coming out of my, it's like the words right here, the cognitive thinking about the words is right here. And then I said Spanny Pants and it was right here. And then the cognitive was like, I'm saying Spanny Pants. And then it was out of my mouth and I'm like, I'm going to say that was, whatever. Whatevs, folks. Whatever. Whatever. Alright. Alrighty then. that's it, folks. I'll see you tomorrow morning for AMX 612. See ya. See ya. Maybe, if I can